Hello to you, and thank you so much for joining us here on CBS 8 Plus. I'm Neda Irampour, and here at CBS 8, we are working for you. We're getting to the bottom of problems that you've asked us about, and we're looking for solutions to help you out. We want to begin with an update to a working for you story surrounding a pet cremation business. This closed without warning, and the remains of several animals are still inside. CBS 8's Steve Price talked to more customers who are struggling to get answers. And he heard from the owner, who says he's still hoping to reunite people with their pets' remains.
Minutes after my story aired last week, I started getting emails from more customers who say they brought their pets here, but never got the remains returned to them. In fact, I am still getting those emails, got more of them today, and the stories are heartbreaking.
I just want him back. I want Puppy back.
Puppy passed away in July, so Tony Faust took him here to Angel Paws Pet Cremation in San Marcos. She was told it would take 3 weeks, but 5 weeks later, nothing. And the doors were locked, the phone disconnected.
I'm not confident that we know where our dog is right now, where Puppy is right now. I'm not confident, and that really hurts.
Tony didn't realize the business was closed for good until she saw our story last week, and she's not alone.
It's just wrong. I mean, we're having to beg to get our animals back.
Sharon Thompson took Daisy to Angel Paws in June and still doesn't have her back.
I feel like, it's not right to all of us pet owners. You promised us that you would take care of something that was precious to us, and you haven't.
Working for you, we contacted the owner of Angel Paws, Chris Settle, who sent CBS 8 an email address last week for customers to use to set up appointments to get their pets back. So, hoping for the best, Sharon sent him an email.
We haven't heard anything. It's like crickets. There's nothing there.
Tony says she also sent an email and got no response. And when she tried a phone number he sent CBS 8 promising to return any messages, this happened.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Please try your call again later. Goodbye.
CBS 8 reached back out to Chris today, who told us again that he will return emails and calls. He also set a goal of returning remains by the end of next week.
He died in my arms.
Tony just wants Chris to be honest with customers, let them know if they'll ever be getting their animals back, and show some proof that he's working to reunite her with Puppy, regardless of whether or not he's actually been cremated.
I want him back so I can take care of him in the proper way, because that's what he deserves.
I reached out to the sheriff's office, and they say at this point they are not conducting a criminal investigation. That said, I am going to stay on top of this story and will keep you updated until all the remains are accounted for. Working for you in San Marcos, Steve Price, CBS 8.
CBS 8 working for you to sort out the confusion around the city of San Diego trash fees. It's a story we've been covering for months now. Still has a lot of neighbors talking and wondering. For most homeowners, the size of your trash can determines your monthly fee. But as our David Godfreyson reports, some longtime customers are losing their city trash service altogether.
So right now with the city, we have 3 cans for all the different kind of trash pickup service.
Dawn Clark and her husband live in Bankers Hill, where the city of San Diego has picked up her trash every Wednesday along 6th Avenue for the past 3 decades, but not anymore.
We've been told we're ineligible for trash service by the city. We've been homeowners at this address for 28 years. We've gotten city trash service all of that time.
The problem is the Clark's house is one of 6 single-family dwellings on a single parcel. And with the passage of Measure B, the city of San Diego will only provide trash service to homes with 4 dwellings or less per parcel, meaning the Clarks and their neighbors now have to hire a private trash hauler provider.
None of the providers want to do business with us unless we do a group contract. We have no active HOA, so there's no mechanism really to contract with one entity. So they're asking one of the homeowners to volunteer and do the billing for all 6 units.
The city's new trash fees are based on the size of your black trash can, and you only have until September 30th to go online and select the size you want. If you don't create an online account, those eligible for city trash service will automatically receive 3 95-gallon containers. The city's fee for the largest containers is about $43 per month. The Clarks say private contractors have quoted them $65 to $140 per month.
We have seen cases where some customers are finding service at or close to what the city's charging. We've seen some less, we've seen some more. And so I would encourage folks to shop around.
Jeremy Bauer, the assistant director of the city's environmental services, says about 20,000 customers will be losing city trash service. And so far, about 10,000 of those customers have hired private trash haulers.
About half of them have found a private hauler. We're in the stretch, the last 50% right now, working closely and seeing what we can do and make this happen more quickly.
We are getting a lot of emails from people who are either losing their trash service or having to pay more, so we'll keep following the story. Working for you in Bankers Hill, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
Because you guys sit up here and it's like you act like you really care about the people and whatnot, but then it passes and we're still in the same boat.
After hours of public comment, where more than 100 people spoke, San Diego City Council voted 6-2. That's to approve the new parking plan for Balboa Park, including adding parking meters, but implementing the new fees is on hold. The council's decision means there will be new parking fees at Balboa Park. So as of right now, though, we do not have a start date. However, it's likely to be early next year. There will be lower rates for residents and some free parking. And then a solution needs to be found for San Diego high school students who utilize Balboa parking as well. Mayor Todd Gloria responded to this decision to put this on hold, saying the delay will mean a loss of revenue for the 2026 budget. Fire danger rising fast across San Diego County, and a new report shows some neighborhoods are at much higher risk than others. With a dry, unusually warm winter on the way, that's what's forecasted, experts warn that conditions could turn dangerous really quickly. CBS 8's Brian White working for you. He's learning which zip codes are at the highest risk and what homeowners can do to protect their property.
Yeah, there are more homes here in Scripps Ranch at high risk of wildfire than any other zip code in San Diego County. With dry brush all around and a warmer, drier winter on the way, fire officials say the time to prepare is now. A dramatic reminder of just how quickly wildfire conditions can escalate. And now, new data from the analytics firm Cotality is giving us and insurance companies a clearer picture of where the greatest threats lie.
The risk of homes in San Diego County increases as you go inland.
Cotality uses advanced modeling that factors in terrain, vegetation, historic fire data, and wind behavior during Santa Ana events. All of this affects insurance premiums.
It's one of the puzzles that an insurer must solve. The basic element is the wildfire risk. Another element is, what have you done to mitigate that risk?
And those steps matter. The more homes labeled high risk, the more likely insurance costs go up or coverage disappears altogether. Here in San Diego County, the zip codes topping the list start with Scripps Ranch at number 1 with 7,885 homes at high risk of being lost to a wildfire. Number 2 is in San Marcos with nearly 7,500 homes. And number 3 in Rancho Penasquitos with nearly 6,300 homes in that category.
Your insurer is also looking at how many homes are going to burn when the fire happens. How many homes could burn in one single fire?
That's one reason why more Californians are being forced onto the California Fair Plan, a last resort fire insurance policy that now covers over 420,000 homeowners statewide. But experts say there are ways to fight back, ways to potentially lower your premium, starting with Zone 0 and defensible space.
When a wildfire comes, their embers are swarm your home. And if the bushes along next to your house catch on fire, they're going to light your house on fire.
Other fire hardening upgrades include attic vents with smaller screens to block embers. And if you have a wood shingle roof, they say it might be time to consider an upgrade. Working for you, Brian White, CBS 8.
All that costs a lot of money. Still ahead here, confusion over all the changes to roads around San Diego International Airport. We're going to show you what's going on ahead of the grand opening of the new Terminal 1, which is set for soon. And scammers are getting more sophisticated, how they're using local courts to try to trick people out of their money. Welcome back. The San Diego Superior Court warning residents about a new wave of scams. Officials say scammers are creating fake court documents complete with counterfeit signatures from real judges and police officers. In one instance, a scammer told the victim they had an outstanding arrest warrant that could be cleared by paying a fine.
They're looking at civil cases. They're saying there was a civil case filed on your behalf, and we've secured money for you. Send us a payment for our services and we'll send you your money. These scams really focus in on people's emotions and fears.
Right, that would sound scary to get a message like that. Real documents will include case numbers that you can verify online, so that's how to know if it's real or not. Red flags include out-of-state numbers, incorrect logos and typos, and officials say they will never text or call people to resolve issues.
Going to the airport now and you're on that access road, it just seems like it's really constricted.
Yeah, have you experienced this? San Diego Airport's road redesign causing major headaches for travelers. The all-new Terminal 1 opens up on Tuesday, just a few days, and people heading to the airport say traffic is actually worse than ever. Even frequent flyers can't quite figure it out. CBS 8's Abby Black working for you, looking for the best way to navigate these changes before your next flight.
I'm driving through San Diego International Airport's new road network, and it can be confusing. Terminal 1 opens in just 1 week, and drivers are telling us that they're already struggling with the redesigned traffic flow. We're working for you to make your departures and arrivals easier.
Super excited about the airport and the fact that, we're getting this great Terminal 1.
Business traveler Eric Cohen was excited about Terminal 1, but after 3 trips through the new roadway, he's still lost.
That's when you're coming off of West Laurel, you're immediately funneled onto North Harbor Drive, which now turns into like an airport access road.
We drove from Laurel and found he's right. You'll bypass Harbor Drive completely. No lights, no stops, 40 miles per hour speed limit, but all terminal traffic squeezes into just 3 lanes.
It's a little confusing is understanding where's the parking access. So everybody, even if you wanted parking, Terminal 1 or Terminal 2 access, you were all being funneled in the same direction.
We drove the new route so you don't have to guess. Once on the airport roadway, you need to look up at signage fast.
It was very confusing to figure out, well, if you want Terminal 1, what lane are you supposed to be into? If you wanted Terminal 2, what lane? And then arrivals and departures, as we got closer, we were watching cars crossing each other, trying to get into the appropriate lane.
Working for you, we drove from Hawthorne to.
Then you're merging with traffic from Laurel, so now we are at 3 lanes.
Here's the airport's animated map showing that both terminals use the same access road.
So Terminal 1, we got to stay in the far right 2 lanes.
You'll continue to go straight for Terminal 2 and Terminal 1 parking.
There's nothing marked on the roads.
Coming from Harbor, if you miss the airport access road, you can still enter Terminal 1 at Harbor Island Drive.
This is where you would go.
Keep in mind, if you want to park, you need to stay in the far left lane.
Parking's over there.
Working for you, we heard back from the spokesperson for the San Diego International Airport, and she says they received feedback from Sunday's passenger simulation and will now be adding additional signage in several locations to help drivers navigate some of the new roadways around the airport.
And I'm not sure if the traffic pattern will change based upon the new terminal opening or if it's only going to get worse.
Working for you at the San Diego International Airport, Abby Black, CBS 8.
Flu season is almost here. Coming up, what you need to know about those at-home tests and if they're actually worth your money. Welcome back here. New results from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety show that when it comes to vehicle safety, bigger is not always better. In tests simulating a head-on crash between 2 vehicles, 4 of the 7 cars that were tested earned good ratings. The BMW i4, the Chevy Blazer EV, the Tesla Cybertruck, and the VW ID Buzz. The Tesla Model 3 received a passing acceptable rating. 2 other vehicles did not fare as well. The Nissan Ariya SUV SUV rated as marginal due to a high risk of chest injuries for backseat passengers. And the Ford F-150 Lightning earned the lowest score after test data indicated a high risk of chest, head, or neck injuries for the rear seat test dummy.
Most people think bigger is better, heavier is better, and certainly we had that with the Ford F-150 Lightning. The vehicle structurally holds up really well in this crash, but fell short in protecting the rear seat position.
That's usually where some families have the kids. IIHS also looked at pedestrian crash avoidance technology. Most performed well with that. The BMW, Ford, and Tesla models all scored top marks, joining the Ariya with good ratings. Flu season, it's right around the corner. Maybe a lot of people are getting the sniffles these days here in San Diego. Well, many are searching for quicker, easier ways to find out if they are sick. So in this next story here, we are working for you. You may be wondering what to do about the test. Well, CBS 8's Alex Lai finds the best way to test for the flu and if it can be done in your home.
At-home COVID testing became popular a few years ago, and then less than a year ago, combination COVID and flu tests hit the shelves. Working for you, I looked in to see if these at-home tests really can detect the flu. In today's age, staying home sick means you can get medicine delivered to your door, visit your doctor via telehealth, and now test for the flu from your bed. Working for you, I spoke with Sharp Steely, Dr. Jotu Sandhu.
Traditionally, the flu home tests are antigen-based, which means they have a modest sensitivity, but a pretty high specificity.
That means antigen tests are good at ruling out people who don't have the virus, but not as reliable at confirming when you do. However, molecular flu tests have high specificity and high sensitivity, making them less likely to miss a positive case.
If that antigen test is negative, you want to still be cautious because you could still have influenza. But if you're doing a molecular test, you can be pretty assured that whatever answer you get is the right answer.
But molecular tests are harder to find. The only at-home molecular flu and COVID test, Lucira by Pfizer, was discontinued in May. It sold for around $50 to $80 per test. Most at-home kits on shelves today are antigen tests costing $10 to $15. Insurance typically won't cover them, but many are eligible for HSA or FSA accounts. If you want a more accurate molecular test, many hospitals and urgent cares use them. Dr. Sandhu says the best time to test is within the first 5 days of symptoms.
Influenza kills about 50,000 people per year. Most people who get infected won't die from it, but it's important that you get tested at home and tested soon so you don't spread to people who are more vulnerable to more serious disease.
To help prevent getting the flu, the CDC recommends washing your hands, avoiding contact with sick people, and getting your flu vaccine. Working for you, Alex Lai, CBS 8.
And now still ahead, a popular tax credit for electric vehicles will expire at the end of this month. How you can still save some money even after the deadline. Welcome back. Are you thinking about an electric car, maybe getting one of those? There's a major deadline approaching that could save you thousands of dollars, but that's if you act really quickly. The federal EV rebate is set to end soon. CBS 8's Alex Lai working for you and shows us what's changing and how you can still lock in the savings.
Federal rebate has saved electric car owners thousands of dollars. But when President Trump signed his so-called Big Beautiful Bill, it set an expiration date for EV rebates of September 30th. Working for you, I'll show you what the deadline means for buyers and how you can still take advantage of the savings. The Clean Vehicle Tax Credit can save buyers and leasers up to $7,500 on new electric vehicles and up to $4,000 on pre-owned vehicles, something many people like Mitch Bierman considered when buying an electric car.
The rebate programs were pretty sweet. They got, like 9% off the car.
But with the program coming to an end, people purchasing electric vehicles after September 30th will no longer get a federal credit.
So it really buys down the upfront cost of an
Working for you, I spoke with Josh Boone, founding executive director for Velos, a nonprofit pushing to electrify transportation. He says people can still take advantage of the credit without getting a car before the deadline.
They can just sign a contract, make a down payment. This is both for leases and purchasing.
Even after the program ends, San Diegans can still save through federal, state, and local tax credits. Velo's Electric for All website lets you see what incentives are available.
You can put in your zip code and it will return to you all the makes and models of EVs that are available and the federal, state, and local tax credits available.
I searched zip code for Claremont 92117 and the website found you can retire your operational vehicle for up to $2,000, get up to $12,000 in state low-income assistance, and up to 30% off charging equipment for non-urban communities. SDG&E customers can also get up to a $4,000 rebate for purchasing or leasing a pre-owned EV, and you can save up to $700 in annual charging costs through the Change Perks program, which schedules charging during off-peak grid hours.
EVs just have a long-term benefit beyond savings up front.
Boone says the tax credit ending could spur a surge in sales this month, but he says we'll have to wait and see if people will still buy without the upfront incentive.
I probably still would. I still, and honestly, I'm like kind of in love with the car. I love the look of it and stuff like that.
You can find the link to Electric for All and other incentives at CBS8.com when you click on this story. Working for you, Alex Lai, CBS 8.
And now some big changes coming to the federal government's SNAP program. It provides food assistance to low-income families, and thousands of San Diegans are at risk of losing those benefits. Under the new rules, the work requirements have been expanded, so more people will be required to prove they're working at least 20 hours a week. County Supervisor Tara Lawson-Remer says the county estimates that nearly 100,000 San Diegans will be impacted by these changes. They're set to begin early next year.
The Trump administration passed new, very strict rules requiring more people to prove they're working, to stay enrolled in CalFresh, eliminating exemptions for veterans, for elderly adults, for parents of teens, for former foster youth, and for people experiencing homelessness.
Under the old rules, it used to be anyone over the age of 55 was exempt from that 20-hour-a-week rule to get benefits. It has now been increased to the age of 65. That is going to do it for us here. Remember, if there's something you want us to look into, email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com. Have a great day.